We are Cam and Heather on Sea Clef, and we are on the trip of a lifetime. Come share in our adventures as we take you through the Great Lakes to Chicago, down through the river system of the Midwest, along the panhandle of Florida, across the Gulf of Mexico, and down the west side of Florida, crossing through the Okeechobee Waterway to eastern Florida. Then share in our adventures as we continue throughout the Bahamas and back up the eastern seaboard, finally returning to Canada on America's Great Loop. Today's voyage takes us from Donovan's Shady Harbor in New Baltimore up the Hudson River to Waterford, where we join the Erie Canal and continue on to Scotia, New York. We did get a bit of a late start due to the fog, but eventually we were able to get underway. Good morning.
Good morning.
From the Hudson River.
Last day on the Hudson.
Yeah, well, we go through a lock today. I guess we switch to after that.
Lockport River.
Lockport River. Okay. We were at Shady Harbor for a few days, and now we're back underway again. We are on our own. We have a few buddy boats that were with us, but they are now behind us. We looked at today and thought it was a good day to move, and so we're underway. We're hoping to get at least one lock done today, Lock 1, Lockport Lock. And Albany Yacht Club is renowned for inexpensive fuel, so even though we really don't need fuel, I think we'll stop and try and top up the tanks, save a couple dollars. But we got a bit of a late start today. It was 7:30 instead of 7 o'clock because it was fogging in so badly, but it's cleared and we're underway. Breakfast?
I make my breakfast. We often do this on an early morning. Just get up and get going. It's no big deal to throw a bowl of cereal together and eat on the bridge. Sometimes I even cook captain eggs.
I'm still full from last night's dinner. We had a looper get-together for dinner, and we're
one of the boats, Pickett's Pub.
Pickett's Pub he's a professional barbecue, like a rib guy. He makes his own sauce, does his own dry rub, and has a process for cooking the ribs. And so we had some pretty darn tasty ribs last night. He's got this special bean recipe, and then everybody bought a salad or dessert. And I'm still full. Our travels were just 40.4 nautical miles today, and we had departed at 7:30 in the morning, arriving at our destination at 3:24 in the afternoon, with an average resultant speed of 5.1 knots. Today was a particularly exciting run of locks as we braved the flight of 5. More on that in a few minutes.
As we approach the Erie Canal, we're going to see a lot more of this. Sailboats with their masts step down because of the low bridges in the area. We are coming into Albany, New York. It's like must be the business district downtown. But it's like quite the sprawling town. Some industrial. Anyway, we are hoping to stop shortly for fuel, cheap fuel.
We did make an attempt to stop for fuel, as the price was quite good in Albany. But unfortunately, their pumps were not working, and we were unable to pump any fuel onto our boat. So we did do a pump out, and we headed on our way. The Flight of 5 locks on the Erie Canal in Lockport, New York, is essentially a staircase for boats that was constructed to lift or lower vessels over the Niagara Escarpment in 5 stages. We are at the Troy Lock, the entrance, and we are waiting for a green light. You can see, I think, oh, there's Heather down somewhere over here. There she is. I've got it zoomed in, so she's up close. Anyway, the red light is, oh jeepers, the red light is red right there. Sorry about my finger. We're just waiting for that gate to open and the light to turn to green. And then we're gonna head into our first lock since the Dismal Swamp. We have our green light to enter the lock, and that is precisely what we're doing. We're in the Troy Lock. Heather has got the line that she's working as we make our way up. She's bringing the line up. The boat poker's helping do that. We've got Rambler with us behind us that we're locking through with. We're not sure we're going to be able to go any further than this because the Erie Lock number 3 is broken. We're hoping that it's fixed by the time we get there, but we won't know that. The whole flight is closed as a result of the one being closed. We were fortunate that by the time we had gone through the Troy Lock, we had discovered that the Flight of 5 locks had reopened, and we would be able to make our way through them today. We have come to a crossroads, one that we've already decided on, but if you want to go to Lake Champlain, you're going to go that way and up to Montreal. If you want to go that way, that's through the Erie Canal and out to Lake Ontario, which is the direction we're going to take. There's actually a sign right there that marks this bifurcation. We're just in Waterford, waiting for the lock to open, which it just did, and looks like there's a little market there. We are approaching Lock E2. It's our first of the Flight of 5, and cables will be down. We'll loop them up, but I think I'll be on stern and Heather will be on bow. We are in Lock 2, and we had to pick up a cable on one end of our boat and then a line on the other end. Heather's still got a hold of the line. We thought that there'd be able to be 2 lines, but we just didn't reach. It was a little exciting. It was not Heather's favorite lock, but we are up 34 feet, and
Thank God for bow thrusters.
Yeah, I had to cleat off the stern and hit the bow thruster to get us from swinging way out. Anyway, we came up very fast.
We are between Lock 2 and Lock 3, and we are going over an old aqueduct right now. Under the bridge, you can just see all the little ridges of the aqueduct here. Maybe they're more visible on this side. There we go. Don't get too close again, I think.
No, I think I'm going to have to tuck in front of this guy.
I think somebody's coming down that lock. They're not the chatty type here.
Based on our experience, I would highly recommend that you not get this close to the lock. We came around to tuck in behind a large boat behind us, but the water currents coming out of the lock are tremendous, and so we've been having a considerable difficulty navigating or holding position. We probably should have tucked in behind him as opposed to in front of him, but we were not given any instruction by the lock, and we're just trying to do what we need to do. The gates are now opening for the second lock in the flight of 5, and I've dropped the stern line, and Heather's still got a hold of the midship line. Lines are filthy. You need gloves for sure. We're just getting ready to stage for the next one, and we're going to stay back much further from it until we get the green light to go. We're just between lock 3 and lock 4. There's a little bit of distance between them. But I can see the stairs of the lock, and I see that the doors might be closed. And if they are, no, are they? No, they're open. I think they're open. I'm just gonna, I can't see the light, to be honest, so I don't know if it's green or not. But the doors look open, so I guess we're gonna keep going. That's nice to see. And lock 4, which is our third lock of the flight of 5. Doors are open. We'll go in and grab a port tie and do this all over again. We're at lock 4, and we can see that next lock is right there. Gates are closed, so we're gonna stay back a bit. I've kind of loosed off the stern line here, and they lock up quick. They go up quick, and there's Heather taking our bow line. We're getting ready to do the next lock. Certainly need 2 people, one on the bow, one on the stern.
And that is what we experienced at the previous lock that we had not anticipated, which is why you do not want to get too close before they open the gates.
When you wait from below to go up the lock, they are essentially dumping all the water in the lock to bring it down to your level, and therefore it can be quite turbulent between the locks.
We're at lock 6 or 5? We're leaving lock 5, and the gates are open. The gates are open to the next lock, so we'll be able to just go straight through. So I brought the camera back with me this time, just to kind of show how this works, but it's not going glamorously because the lines are just a little bit too far apart. I don't know if you can tell from this, but we are flying up. I think they have races to see who can bring you up faster than the last guy. But basically, what you're supposed to do is an S, which I can't do because of the way I've got it set up. But yeah, I guess the lines are too stiff, so Heather's not able to do an S either. But normally you would loop it back over the other side of the cleat. I can't show it right now because I'm navigating. But it's coming up all right, and we'll be fine. Gates are opening on our last of the flight of 5 locks. You can actually see the water, and the channel's been carved right out of the rock. This is the last of the flight of 5 locks before we head on. Our next lock will be E7, and it's about 10 miles away. We are through the flight of 5 locks, and now we have 2 lift gates that require that we need to traverse. The first one is up. I can't see the second yet, but we'll be going right through the first one, figure out what we're doing from there. Kind of neat to see the rock carved away, allowing for the canal to come through here. We're literally climbing a mountain in the water. Hey, so we've done the locks. We are tired. That's a tough go.
Physically tired.
Yeah, and you don't have time to grab a snack or use the washroom or anything in between the locks. You're just go between the locks, and they move so fast that you need to be prepared to keep your lines secure. You really need 2 people.
My arms are buzzing.
You need somebody on the bow, somebody on the stern with your lines, and you got to be ready to go.
Once the lock is moving, it's that initial, thrust of water that is a little bit harder to handle. But once it's moving, it's easy to maintain control of the boat.
Yeah, I would say by the time it's like 10 or 15 feet up or something like that. Once it gets about halfway, it actually is pretty gentle coming up. And then, of course, you saw the video of the gush of water that comes out at the bottom. We learned, I suppose, to some extent the hard way, although we never had any damage or anything like that, but we did learn that you should stay away from the bottom of the boat. Coming up on this bridge, and it looks super low. According to the charts, it's 21 feet. It's Route 9 on the Mohawk River, just past the last of the 5 locks and the 2 gates. We're going to slow down and go by nice and easy. We need about 19 foot to 18 foot something. So we should be fine. I put the antenna down, which we broke today because we did hit a railroad bridge with our antenna, which was unfortunate. We were distracted with some exciting current. Looks okay as we get closer, but it's pretty low. I'd check your heights before coming through here and make sure you can make it without taking something down. But we should have a couple feet to spare over there.
Something in the air is changing. Have you seen the sky tonight? There's a small chance we could make it to save our home in the big world. And if you like, we can go tonight. Find the last star in the morning light. And if you like, we can go.
We are just approaching lock E7. You can see the falls over to the right there, and we are hanging to the left. And coming up on the lock, you can just see the lock wall coming up.
The Fisher Ferry Lock.
Fisher Ferry. And the lock doors are closed, but he knows we're coming. We're just waiting for the gates to open for Lock E7. The falls are just over here to our right. We had some sea-doos with us today. Most of the locks we did today, we were by ourselves.
Something in my mind is changing. When did we lose every bit of trust? It's getting hard.
This is the Schenectady Yacht Club. We know there's a couple of looper boats in here today. We are not staying in here. We are moving on to Scotia to stay on a free dock.
We can go tonight. Find a lost star in the morning light. And if you like, we can go tonight. Before the world goes down.
So this is the main channel off to the left here, over to port, and over here to starboard is the direction we're going to be steering to get into Scotia, which is a free dock, but you can also pay $30 and get power and water. And it's 30 degrees out Celsius today, so I think we want to get air conditioning if we have the choice. So we'll likely do that. Here we are arriving at Scotia to nobody. Scotia Landing. Free docks unless you want power. I think we're going to stern in and tie up. We're in about 8 feet of water presently.
We arrived just before 3:30 p.m., secured our boat, and paid our $30 into a small box that was just on the shoreline so that we could have power that evening. We then headed into Walk the Park, and we came across a lovely orchestra performing. What a great end to our day.
Free concert in the park in Scotia, New York.
This is the last tune. Some of the people have left. There's a bit of a gust front coming through. I think it's going to be raining pretty soon.